Never would have made it without you. I would have lost it all. Giving praises to the Most High. Hello, everybody. It's Nicci coming in with another video talking about my journey as I find a cure for lupus, hopefully. Just as I do with all of the other videos, I start off with a brief insight about lupus. Lupus is an autoimmune disease that affects a multitude of the parts of the body. Okay, it can affect from anywhere from your kidneys to your brain, eyesight, your heart, your immune system. That said, just kind of give you some insight on myself. I was diagnosed with lupus in 2003, and I have been working feverishly to find a cure. And I do want to welcome you as you partake in on my journey. Okay. Some things I hadn't mentioned, I guess, about myself. I am a mom. I have 4 wonderful children. I have 2 teenagers. It's a lot of fun, right? And then also I have twins, 5-year-old twins. Now, the reason why I started with that is because one of the other misconceptions I hear about lupus is that, one with lupus cannot have children. And that's not necessarily true, okay? Now, I did have issues with infertility, okay? I'm going to start there. So, in 2003, I was diagnosed. I found out I had lupus while I was preparing to get married. Although the marriage did not work, I did spend a lot of years with a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful man that I love dearly. And we just kind of grew apart. And to be quite frank with you, lupus played a big part in it. So that's it. One of the biggest issues in our marriage was I was unable to conceive and bear children. I had already came from having 2 children of my own. He had a child of his own, so we had a blended family, but we wanted to expand and have our own child. Now, we tried fertility treatments. We went to Fertility Centers of Illinois out in Lombard. And after many tests, I was told that I have a condition called unexplained infertility. Okay, whatever that means. Anyway, long story short, I ended up getting pregnant when I wasn't trying. So you know how they say, you don't try and you get pregnant? I know that's the last thing that a person will want to hear who's trying, and we tried for 7 years. When you stop trying, you really get pregnant. Now, here I am, I'm pregnant, and I have lupus. And obviously, I was faced with the decision whether or not to keep the baby or terminate. Well, come to find out, I was pregnant with twins. So there's no way in hell I'm going to terminate my babies. It's just not going to happen. And I felt that they were here by grace of God. And they were miracle babies. And I was very, 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 very excited for them. How my then husband and I, we had tried so many years to get pregnant. So to finally be told that not only we're pregnant with 1 baby, but 2, why not? And I've just put it all in God's hands. Now, things that happened while I was pregnant. I probably, now the thing is, one thing I was told by my doctor is I can carry them as long as I don't have a flare-up, or as long as my lupus is not active. That's going to be a term that you hear me speak a lot about in my videos. And at the time, my lupus was not active. Now, I did go through I went through a lot of the itching and I felt a flare-up coming on, and my doctor prescribed, I can't even remember the name of this medication. I'll get it and I'll put it in another video. But it did stop with the itching that I got all the time. And I did get some hives, but it wasn't too bad. So all in all, I went 40 weeks, actually, and I vaginally delivered twins. Now, here's some things that you should know about lupus and pregnancy that I think will be really important for me to share. Pregnancy, as you know, women, it is a lot on our bodies, okay? And you have the circle of life thing going on, and that's it. It's still a 50-50 chance if you were having one child, and if you were without lupus, it's still a chance that you can transition during childbirth. It just happens. So fellas, if you know somebody who is pregnant, if you have your wife or your girlfriend or whatever, honor her, because being pregnant is no punk. So anyway, here I am in the emergency room. I'm gonna just go ahead and fast forward to in labor. All right, so here I am. I went on and I delivered baby A, which was my son Terrence. And as he was delivered, he was out fine. And then Natalia, my daughter, she was still in, because they were obviously fraternal twins, so that means it's two bags. They had to break her water bag. And when they did, she ran the other way. The doctor called her, brought her out, feet first, cord wrapped around her neck 3 times. 3 times. There was no cord room, and her cord was so skinny. It was like skinnier than my pinky finger. It was really, really small. It was so scary. So I don't know how long that cord had been around her neck, but like I said, it was absolutely a terrifying experience. She came out, she was kind of blue. So my then husband, they told him, they say, hey, cut the umbilical cord. Now, I made a pact with my doctor. I built a really good relationship. Another thing about lupus is really good to build a really solid relationship with your primary, your physician, because they're going to give it to you in a real. You know what I mean? I said, if something happened, I want my husband out of the room. Period. That's it. That's all. I don't want him to see it, because I don't want to have him go through life, maybe resenting the kids or whatever. So she's looking at me, I'm looking at her. The babies is over there, he's going and gone, he's cutting umbilical cords, and then I felt myself getting cold, okay? Around my feet, I felt myself getting cold. And then it started to travel up my legs, and I'm looking at her, and I said, I'm cold. And she said, don't do this to me, Nicci. I said, I'm cold. And she said, well, T, why don't you take the babies out in the lobby and show your family? So at that point, I started to cry, because I knew she's trying to get him out of the room. So she got him out of the room, and I bled out. And what I mean by that is I lost a lot of blood. And all I remember is I passed out. It felt like, to me, I closed my eyes and opened them, and I was in another room another day. But she said she had to literally stuff me with towels. Anyway, because of lupus, I had such a really, really big strand on my body when I was going through the childbirth. My body just couldn't take it. It just couldn't take it. But the bright side and the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow is I'm here to tell that story today. So God totally had me covered. And I give all of the grace and mercy to him in that situation, because he was in total control. And I was not worried. I was not. I knew that I would be fine. But that's one thing about when you have lupus, and I tell anyone who goes through this disease, you have to put your faith in God. I'm not going to put a name to him right now, because you never know. If some people may call him Jesus, some people may call him Allah. I am not here to argue facial features or your belief. But what I'm saying is you should have the faith in a higher power, because it is no punk when you're dealing with what we deal with on a daily basis. Okay? So back to the point. So I woke up, I'm freezing, and my doctor and everybody's in the room, they're clapping for me, and they're saying I did so well, and I just wanted to see my babies. And my babies were okay, pretty much from what I can understand now. My daughter Natalia, she shows some signs, like she has a heart murmur. I don't know, if it could have came from there. Sometimes she has like really bad on her tongue, she has like, so, but from what I'm understanding, the doctors are saying they're just going to watch it. So my advice to any woman that is looking to conceive, that has lupus, I would definitely say, talk to your doctor first and foremost. But the most important thing, I'm a success story. And yeah, so that's my story on childbirth. And I hope that, perhaps it provided some sort of insight. If you have any questions, feel free to, comment in the comment section, and, I'll be sure to, reply. I'll check it quite frequently. And thank you. And I look forward to I'm posting my next video talking about my journey on finding a cure. Have a great day.